Hello, hello, hello. It's day 12 of the mountain training, and I am your host, DTB. You know, these vlogs would be really good to have in the background while you're working, honestly, I'd say. Um, but today I decided that um, I could be talking about a lot of things, really, that happened today. But instead, I think I want to focus on my mistakes uh, this time around because I noticed that I've actually been degrading back to my old habits of getting distracted and just having internet up and all that. And I didn't really even do any writing either, so it's like, why did I even have internet at that point? Um, but yeah. So yeah, today I would have to say that I made a lot of mistakes. I'll get to my drawing after this, okay? Um, but yeah, so I mean, I found a lot of neat things, sure, and I did like watch a tutorial video on coloring and shading. That is, it was like the 1, 2, 3 shadows by Ori Days. I rewatched it more like it's like my fourth time rewatching it or something. But in any case, though, uh, like what's it called? Yes. So I honestly have been getting too distracted recently. I'd say too recently, but honestly, it's just today. So today I got too distracted, but even the day before, I feel like I did have some distractions as well. So I can't really like say that, it's all just happened today. It's really all just built up from the last few days, really, I would have to say. And then today it just became too much. Like it's like you're now out of line, brother. In any case, though, but yeah, so watching too many videos, and I slept in the daytime, taking a nap. Yesterday I also took a nap, like for 2 hours, and it was because, my reasoning behind it was that I wanted to waste time until dinner. Like I was trying to like I was like, wow, it's only 3:30 and I'm kind of hungry, but I really want dinner to be here very soon. And then it just ended up that taking a nap is is the way to go. And that's happened for 2 days straight now. Now that's why I want to emphasize on the mistakes because I want to reflect on them and like think about where it all started, how it all ended up coming to this point. And I do think that people will should learn from this as well. That it's okay to make mistakes, of course, as long as you learn from them. That's all there is to it. Um, so telling myself, talking to myself, and just explaining the process behind it. I'm telling you all how aware I am, and the solution is obviously to just go back. Go back to those first few days where I just completely turned off the internet. I unplugged the Ethernet cord and I turned off the Wi-Fi, and I just worked, man. I just did whatever. I mean, did whatever was productive. So I will be going back to that tomorrow. Um, like in terms of gym, I was pretty productive. Uh, you can call a 1 hour walk and some push-ups and sit-ups productive anyway. For like the for the next hours, like, but it's very slow paced. My back cannot handle hard ground because my lower backside, that's like the tailbone almost the tailbone. Like it almost reaches that region anyway. So it almost gets to the tailbone, and this part of my spine is like it it it's it bends too much, I guess. It's like it's too crooked, it's like too angled, I'd have to say. Uh, and I really wish that I could do something about it. I don't know if any other if other people have this kind of problem. I do know that everybody that has a bad back has this problem, the same problem as me, because it causes one to slouch a lot, and you know, uh, it does feel nice to like try to straighten my back out though. Um, Feels nice on my inner thighs, specifically. Somehow, I'm not sure if that was I mean, let's be mature, okay? Let's just be mature about this, okay? Like I know that thighs is like a trigger for like hentai thinking or whatever, but like I asked to be mature for a little bit here. In any case, though, yeah. So, uh, yeah. What was I getting at? Oh, yeah. So I was trying to get at that. Like I couldn't do sit-ups on hard ground. That's all I was trying to get at because of that. Because it keeps on like that part of my spine keeps on it hurts. It hurts when I'm like bending my back as I'm trying to do the sit up to get up, right? It hurts there. In any case, though, I wonder if that can be like remedied just by continuously doing it. But like also, I would hope that that part of my back would like start straightening out more somehow. Hopefully, I'd like that anyway. But I don't have hopes for it because it's been like this for so many years. But at the same time, when I did Taekwondo, okay, like after about a year or two, I was able to touch my feet when doing that one stretch where it's like you straighten your legs and then you pull yourself down, bend forward down with straight legs, and you try to reach for your feet. And for the longest time, like I could only reach up to my ankles. No, not my ankles, my knees, okay? Like that's where it started, and that's how it is now. Um, but when I did Taekwondo, they would have us do all kinds of stretches, okay? And as a result of that, after a year, I was able to reach for my feet. I was able to touch it, okay? I was able to touch my toes. So it just goes to show that, when you work hard enough, things will improve anyway. But you have to also keep it up. So the fact that I stopped, I just reverted back to where I was in the beginning. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, though. Um, you know, just know that, yeah, like this is how your body is, but your body can improve and it can get over its limit. And if you want to keep it over its limit, you have to keep it up as well, which is not a bad thing to keep up good habits. Like stretching is good habits, um, and is really good for before and after workout anyway. And you never have to worry about like injuries. When you know you can be flexible, that is. Like stretching will also uh, reconfirm to you every single day that, hey, this is how flexible you are now, and this will guarantee that you don't get hurt while like swimming or like doing a lot of kicking or a lot of like intense actions that require a lot of speed, basically. So even just running, even like sprinting, for example, that requires lots of intense speed um, action from your legs. Like they have to move really fast, and they have to use a lot of strength to push yourself forward. And you have to and like it's just it's just a lot of strain on your body. But if you do your stretches, then there'll be a lot less strain. Uh, because well, it loosens up your body when your body is being all rigid on you. It's getting all rigid. It's like it's like just think of like rocks or something that's uh like a plant drying out. How about that? That one's a good example, a really good example. A plant drying out and getting brittle. It's like when it gets like that, that's you getting all rigid from your workout. But if you stretch, then it's like watering the plant. It keeps it healthy, it keeps it flexible, it keeps it all wavy, all string-like or whatever, and like, you know, and it won't break when you like bend it just a little bit, like a brittle plant would. Uh, and yeah, so that's the analogy. That's a good analogy. That's a good metaphor, really. It's a metaphor, right? I wouldn't call it an analogy because an analogy is like a story. Yeah, you use that for stories, story comparisons. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's enough about that now. So I've already talked about my mistakes, and I just talked about doing exercise is good for you. Obviously, like everybody knows that, but nobody like a lot of people they don't get into it anyway, even then, and it's just because not enough people mention it enough for them to get into it. It's like when a lot of people mention it, they'll start feeling like they need to get into it too. It's a FOMO kind of effect, and that's like definitely okay. That's definitely for the better. Like getting like pressuring them to work out. There's like nothing to lose there. It's like it's all gains. And it's not like peer pressuring someone into drinking beer, although it follows the same fundamental basic understanding of what peer pressure is, but like, that's peer pressure for good, while drinking beer is peer pressure for bad. In any case, yeah, so the more people that talk about exercise, that talk about stretching, that talk about these things, emphasizing how good they are, and like obviously eating healthy too, greens and oatmeal and fruits and blah blah blah, all that stuff, and like vegan stuff, like well, vegan stuff anyway. But yeah, yeah, just because the more everybody talks about it, the more everyone becomes aware about it. So, uh, need to just like I'm trying to do my part, even if nobody's listening right now. This is just like for practice kind of thing. Kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, let's get back. Let's get to the drawings, huh? So surprise, surprise. Uh, there's another drawing that I am not showing right now. Uh, because I just wanted to talk about the circle. Okay, because the circle is very important in every, um, well, in every organic drawing. Yes, it's important in every organic drawing. Not so important in stuff like buildings or even landscape. Actually, I like landscape. You can do whatever with landscape. Like stuff that has to do with background, they're a lot more flexible. When it comes to like stuff like making mountains, grass, hills, trees, because they come in all forms, shapes, and sizes. But I'm getting off topic here. Okay, so circle, very important in every single drawing for the basis, the fundamental. Uh, let's see. I mean, if I go to my thumbnail, I can find it. Okay, so you see this one. Okay, this is after I put in a circle, the shape of the face does change a little bit. And I'd say that it definitely improved anyway. But if I go to my thumbnail, then I go to that one, this one. So, okay, see if can do some kind of comparison. I can just like take a picture. You're seeing the process of how I make my thumbnail. Okay, but in any case though, so we got this one for comparison. Make it smaller. And we do this one, and then we make that one smaller. So yeah, this one, let's see. You can see here, this is the change right here. I'll get over that one. So it has a little bit more flexibility in its shape. Yeah, so a little bit more puffy cheek, basically. This one has no puffy cheek. The cheek would be like down here, but over here it's like around here-ish. Pikachu! Anyway, but yeah, so, like, she does have more, she does have more face dead space in this one, as a result. Kind of hard to tell, honestly. But it's just a given because I did, like, mochi it out. Like, mochi is, like, when it's, like, soft and stretchable, like when you pinch a someone's cheek and it's like all mochi, like you're able to like move it around and it's all stretchy or whatever. That's mochi anyway. But yeah, there's more mochi here. So it looks like you can just pinch your cheek and move it around. Oh, it's so cute. Okay. Enough play around. Okay, so let's get that other drawing that I kept from you. So, ta-dum! I used a reference, and I wanted to yeah, I mean it's really self-explanatory, but the face though, this face is actually a practice because I wanted to like practice doing downward angle because I'm like I get obsessed with this kind of stuff, doing downward angle or angles in general because I want to get good at that stuff because I love dynamic looks, dynamic um, angles, and just dynamic body form. Yeah. Cause you remember that one video from yesterday with that pink girl with the 3D with the creepy 3D before rendering? Yeah. It was like there was a lot of dynamic in that one, the face had to change a lot, like the entirety of the face, not just like the eyes, it's also the landscape of the face itself. And then there was also the body also had to change as well. For some angled shots, like, and it just go and like just seeing how much it changes with each angle is like from just looking at the unrendered 3D, right? Um, it just goes to show how much uh change needs to be made to meet the standard of 2D anime angles because those 2D anime angles are very unnatural, very. And they're very not unnatural because they want to make that angle as appealing as possible. That's the goal behind these dynamic angles, is that they get rid of the common sense of uh, the understanding of anatomy to get the appealing angle that they want out of the character. I do have a picture, a reference. So there's this Pixiv artwork I want to show here. Okay. Let's see if I can get to it. YouTube? We'll go with that one, yeah. Okay. Filters, properties, sorry. There you go. So this one, okay? This cat girl, okay? Very cute and very sexy, and like she has really thick thighs and stuff like that. And yeah, now's the time to be horny. And then like she has really like a very wide waist. Uh, yeah. Well, now I have to cut that out. You know what? I'll do myself a favor. I'm just gonna copy paste, honestly, because I cannot be having to deal with it. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully I remember to like give a link to it, because I forgot to give the link to the last video as well. Yeah, that right there. So let's scroll down. Like, I'm just taking these for the video, and I'll be obviously linking. Okay, I can't really link the Pixiv now that I think about it, because it's R18. But I can link the Pixiv user that made it. So I will do that. I think. As long as his front page is fine anyway. I'll figure something out. I'll probably just link to another artwork that isn't R18 or something. I don't know. It's just because YouTube can be stupid, I think. It's just, you never know. Anyway, but yeah. So as you can see here, very fair, um, very fair proportions, yes. Very fair proportions besides the legs, anyway. Legs are the only problem, and like if you want to count those hands, but like when I tell you about those hands, it's like, yeah, he really didn't try, right? But he just made that just so that he could make this. So this is the concept, basically, is a concept design, so that he can get started on making the actual artwork, is the one that I am pointing at now. And takoyaki is my favorite. Yum. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, uh, if I were not an artist, if I was just some regular person with no eye for art, I would think that she's kind of fat from here. I'm looking at this, right? That she's just like fat, but like even for fat, it's like this is healthy fat. But yeah, where do I even go from here, honestly? Just, oh yeah, my point. The point I was trying to get at. The point I was trying to get at was that angles like this. I really love angles like this. I want to draw angles like this one, but the thing is that so this is supposed to give you the idea that you know, there's like some it's more wider as you go down, right? As you go down the picture, it gets wider. But the thing is that this is actually heavily distorted in proportions for the angle. If you were to recreate this in 3D, okay, I promise that it will look very distorted, unrendered, and looking from a different angle. Okay, just like that girl from yesterday's video, the pink girl, that was doing different dynamics of angles in as rendered 3D, that has the 2D anime look. Now, how would it look distorted? Well, for one thing, the boobs would definitely get bigger. Okay, they would distort the boobs bigger. They would definitely distort these legs. Okay. Um, these 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 feet would also get bigger, by the way, a lot bigger. Because from this angle, these should be a lot smaller. Let's see. And her body would kind of be a little bit more forward, I guess. At least this top side would be like more angled downward. Anyway, uh, this one is actually probably going to be unchanged. The waist, that is like one of the things that will be basically unchanged, but maybe changed just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit, maybe, just maybe though. But yeah, that tail, yeah, definitely might be changed as well. I'd say, like if you were to try to copy this picture, the entire proportion of it in 3D, that is. You just like you make the 3D model, right? And then you just take this picture and you like overlay it somewhere, maybe behind it or on top of it, and then you like just make it the picture itself transparent, and then you model your model after it, and like you have to make changes here and there and blah blah blah, like just disproportionating a lot of things to get the exact same results. Well, you won't get the exact same results, but you will get like pretty much the same results in terms of like copying the proportions. Like you can't copy like this line here. You can't copy maybe well whatever. I mean you definitely can't copy this line here. Okay, this line here, uncopyable. Okay, uh, you'd have to draw that out or something. But yeah, but yeah. Oh man, that would be a nightmare to do in 3D. I swear to God, all those foldings. Because the way that people go about doing this is that they just they make a texture, and like you could never fold it like this in a 3D model unless you were to put a lot of skeletons in it. Basically, I would have to say a lot of skeletons. I would have to say anyway. That's how I imagine it from what I've understood of 3D so far. Whoops, it's 30 minutes, but it'll be cut down because I have to cut out some boobies. But I will see you next time. Have a good day. See ya.